මෙම ආසියානු ක්‍රිකට් සංගමේ සභාපති ජේෂා වෙත විශේෂ ලිපියක් යටතේ මා විසින් යොමු කරා. ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් ආයතනයේ සිදු කරනු ලබන
I wrote a special letter to the President of the Asian Cricket Council, Jay Shah, regarding all the irregularities at the SLC. I wrote to him saying that they are attempting to cover up these crimes and requested him to take steps to prevent this from becoming a diplomatic issue. This corrupt group are covering under Jay Shah. When Jay Shah came to Sri Lanka, I asked the Indian High Commissioner to grant me an audience with him. I forwarded the audit report of the SLC to all 11 full members of the ICC. However, I am sad about certain things that took place when I was taking these steps. If I'm a member of the government, I have a responsibility to protect the president. There are criticisms that have been levelled in the past. There was criticism against PB Jayasundara, but we got a good secretary to the president now, Samaneka Nayaka. But I can see that there is someone here who is trying to destroy the president. Therefore, I stress that these corrupt individuals must not be allowed to get close to the president. A statement was issued that I hadn't consulted the president or the cabinet before I took this decision. If that is the case, then I should be a person who doesn't know my subject. When this matter was taken up in court, the lawyer used this to his advantage as well. I know which decisions I should seek cabinet approval for. I also know what matters that I should seek approval from the president. The judiciary in this country is very clean and pure. Before the current president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Bandula Karunaratne, became the president of the Court of Appeal, he only sat on benches that heard criminal matters. He did not adjudicate on writ applications. The current president of the Court of Appeal had, in addition to hearing criminal matters, also opted to hear writ applications. This was done very unusually, with the intention of hearing matters regarding Sri Lanka cricket from the third quarter of 2022. I table in Parliament the circular issued by the President of the Court of Appeal in this regard. This circular was issued on the same date that Justice Bandula Karunaratne assumed the office of the President of the Court of Appeal. Further, according to their conduct depicted in videos on social media, it is clear that Asela Rakava, who is a consultant of SLC and a very close friend of the SLC board as well as Shammi Silva, had appeared in matters regarding the SLC before the Court of Appeal as soon as Bandula Karunaratne was appointed as the President of the Court of Appeal. Bandula Karunaratne is married to the sister of the mother of Asela Rakava. Bandula Karunaratne's wife and Asela Rakava's mother are sisters. This is Asela Rakava with Shammi. These are members of his family. On this side is Bandula Karunaratne. Arya Rakava is here, Asela Rakava's father. LC Rakava is here. She is the aunt of Asela Rakava. Asela Rakava is the conflict of interest at SLC. There are many conflicts of interest here. I issued a gazette, and because of the conflict of interest between the SLC and the Justice of the Court of Appeal, they acted contrary to the rules of natural justice and issued a biased stay order. The notice informing us of that decision was delivered to the ministry at about 11:10 am. I got it at 11:10 am. I received information that such a decision is going to be made. I was extremely helpless at that time. I called the Attorney General over 5 times. I told him that I wanted to appear in court as this matter is going to go in the favor of a corrupt group. He said that he cannot appear for me without anything in writing. I spoke with Manohara. He said that he cannot appear without the concurrence of the Attorney General. The Attorney General has evaded this. That is the truth.
අධිකරණයේ නිෂ්ඨකාරවරුන්ගේ පුද්ගලික ප්‍රවත්ම හා නම් සඳහන් කරමින් කරන කටයුත්ත අත්හැරලා කටයුතු කරනවා නම් හොඳයි කියලා මුලාසනයේ හැටියට අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා. නෑ කෝල් කරේ නෑ 83 එක වගන්තියේ තියෙන කාරණයක් සම්බන්ධව සඳහන් කරේ.
ඉතා පිරිසිදු අධිකරණ පද්ධතියක් මේ රටේ තියෙන. යම් මොහොතක අක්‍රමිකතාවයක් වෙන.
The judiciary of Sri Lanka is clean. If there is some irregularity, if we can't speak about it here, where can we speak about it? I request for him to be summoned to the Ethics and Privileges Committee. Also, it can be stated that influence was exerted by certain responsible officials at the Presidential Secretariat or advisors to the President to induce this decision. Also, I feel that the President has not been informed of the steps that the Minister of Sports can take under the Sports Act to prevent sports clubs from engaging in wrongdoings. There needs to be a few people who speak on behalf of cricket here. The President can make a decision. Does he want Buki Shammi or Roshan Ranasinghe? It is very simple. Choose one out of the two. Look inside the Presidential Secretariat as well. who sent out a press release in the morning saying that neither the president nor the cabinet was informed of this. There are many things that are taking place that the president is not aware of. In the face of all of these corrupt activities, I only ask for one thing. Conduct a forensic audit from 2018. You will not be able to find an end to the corrupt activities that they carried out. The cricket players are not the ones involved in match fixing. It is the officials of the sports unions. Therefore, no matter what we do, Jay Shah is the person who has much of the powers at the ICC. If he is asked to create an issue for Sri Lanka, our cricket could be suspended. They say that political influence is being exerted. How did I exert influence? These people are so strong that they can even threaten a minister of this country. They are always with underworld gangs. When the president went to watch the LPL, the person behind the president was a member of an underworld gang. What about his safety? When the president is seated and watching the LPL, it is Shami Silva's bodyguard, a member of an underworld gang, who is standing behind the president. This is the head of state. How did they do this when the head of state was present there? Next, when I went to Dubai to meet the Rugby Federation, when I was there, 2 of my friends sent me messages asking me to be cautious, as these people were waiting to plant some drugs in my bag once I got to Dubai. Why did they want to do that? They wanted to destroy my image on social media. Then they are threatening us with the underworld. When I went to Dubai, I had to get a person to stand watch at my door. I had to be extremely cautious. That is the situation. They will do anything to cover up their corrupt activities. What is our risk here? How can we allow such a corrupt group to go unchecked? I request for the support of Parliament to be given to the ICC to stop the suspension from happening.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ සහයෝගය ඕන මේගොල්ලොන්ගෙන් මේක නවත්ත ගන්න තහනම් කරගන්න එක නවත්ත ගන්න.
The Sri Lanka Cricket Administration convened a media briefing and responded to the allegations made by the sports minister.
Sri Lanka Cricket Vidayaka Committee ගැන
In a situation where there are various rumours and opinions with regard to the Executive Committee of SLC, it is our duty to explain the real situation. Our statements are not 100% political stories. This is the truth. We have proof. We cannot get away by lying. Although SLC and the Sports Minister worked in cooperation for the past year and a half, his vision and ideologies changed all of a sudden. I can assume that he has been completely misled by giving false and incorrect information. He says that we are petty thieves, that there are people here who steal so much that the level of theft is insurmountable. The minister made these allegations based on a report given by the Auditor General. Nowhere in this is there any mention that we have stolen, done anything illegal, or that there are matters that deserve punishment. There are only recommendations in this. We have already started to carry out these recommendations. We are ordinary citizens, not politicians. We are ready to make the necessary explanations anytime.
නමුත් අපිට ඇවිල්ලා මේ පැහැදිලි කිරීම කරලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්.
අපි ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් විධායක කමිටුව වෙනුවෙන්
We declare on behalf of the Sri Lanka Cricket Executive Committee that the Executive Committee has not committed any kind of irregularity or abuse. We insist that there is no mention of any misuse of funds or any irregularity. The implementation of the recommendations of this full report is expected to be completed in December 2023. We have implemented over 50%. For the first time in the history of Sri Lanka cricket, regarding the accounts of Sri Lanka cricket for the financial year ended in December 2022, the Auditor General informed that it shows a fair and transparent condition in accordance with the standards of its financial performance. The Executive Committee believes that it is essential to go for the ICC Cricket World Cup, which is held once in every 4 years. This had happened before. Accordingly, we informed the Sports Minister about this. The Secretary of the Ministry asked us what the cost would be. We let the Secretary know what the cost would be. Accordingly, he clearly approved the amount. Accordingly, we went for the ICC Cricket World Cup 2023. No money has been spent on an individual who is not part of the Executive Committee. We must make this clear. If it is revealed that we have spent money on anyone who is not in the committee, the Executive Committee is willing to resign immediately.
අපේ මුළු විධායක කමිටුව මේ මොහොතේම ඉල්ලාස් වෙන්න සූදානම්.